morning. I thought I would change things up this morning and head off to the Tim Hortons to buy myself a tea. Okay, I have my tea. Let's head home and chat, shall we? Hello and welcome. On this channel, we chat about everything midlife. And today, we are going to talk about that mysterious weight gain that occurs in middle-aged women. And not just weight gain, but that magical 10 or 15 pounds that seems to have magically found its home right in the belly area. Why is this happening? And why does it seem impossible to take this weight back off? What can we even do about it? Can women my age even beat this battle of the middle-aged belly bulge? Stick around and let's chat about it. Weight gain in women in midlife is very common. And in most cases, it starts with the hormonal fluctuations that usually begin in perimenopause, coupled with the normal physiological changes that just come with aging. Now, the progesterone drop and the erratic nature of estrogen in perimenopause is usually what starts this magical weight gain. But as time goes on and women get closer and closer to menopause and the estrogen begins to plummet, that is what signals the body to start storing those extra calories right in the belly area. Hormonal changes also make the body much more sensitive to both insulin and cortisol. Increased insulin is responsible for fat storage and also makes it much harder for the body to burn fat. Increased cortisol further exacerbates the insulin problem and is also very much responsible for fat storage right in the midsection. Lower estrogen also causes a decrease in metabolism, which means that middle-aged women are simply not burning the same amount of calories that they did in their 20s and 30s. With middle age also comes a natural decrease in muscle mass, and we all know that the more muscle you have, the more calories you burn. So obviously with this shift in estrogen and natural decline in muscle mass, if you're eating the same way you did in your 20s and 30s, you're probably going to put on weight without even noticing because you're just simply not burning all of those calories anymore. So, with the natural process of aging and shifting hormones against us, is there anything we can do to reverse this inevitable weight loss? Yes. Let's start with the most obvious, increasing muscle mass. If we increase muscle mass, we'll burn more calories, and this will help with overall weight loss, but also weight loss in the belly. Now, obviously, strength training is the cream of the crop when it comes to changing body composition, building muscle mass, and burning calories. But not every woman is at that level of fitness. So if you're not at that level of fitness, here are a few simple ways to start. You could make it a point to do all of the yard work or gardening. Or in the winter, you could get out and do all of the shoveling. If you have a dog that you know you have to take out a couple of times a day, make that a good time to take a 10-minute brisk walk. Each time you take that cute little puppy out to do his or her business. If there's stairs around, make sure you're running up and down those stairs instead of taking the elevator. It seems like a seemingly small thing, but when you add up all those stairs over the course of a week, that's quite a bit of exercise. Even something like walking around the house when you're talking on your cell phone can be helpful. It's an easy but good way to start. To target that stubborn belly fat specifically, I have read that doing simple exercises such as crunches is not really all that effective because it's only targeting the front and side abdominal muscles. A more effective approach would be to target all of the core muscles. So exercises such as planks would be way more effective. And even more effective than a regular plank would be a side plank. The question is, can somebody in my physical condition even do a side plank? Believe me, ladies, if you've never tried one, they are way harder than they look. Now I'm going to attempt to show you how to do one for those of you that have never seen one. Stay tuned because this may be very entertaining. Here we go. We're going to lay on our side, tuck this arm underneath us, put the leg straight out, hand on your hip, and we're going to push up, and apparently we're going to hold this for 35 to 40 seconds. This is much harder than it looks. And my granddaughter seems to think it's funny too. I think in my case, alternating the side planks with the regular planks may be a good idea, at least for now until I get a little bit stronger. That's an option for some of you out there as well, if you need to build up your strength a little bit. Another way to help with weight loss in middle age is to decrease the stress. And I know, especially in perimenopause, that is way easier said than done. But high stress equals high cortisol, and high cortisol can wreak havoc. It depletes your serotonin, it can cause depression, it can rob you of sleep, it can cause food addictions and sugar cravings and insulin resistance, and most importantly, it can cause fat storage right in the belly. So mind-body practices in middle age seem fairly important. Not only will they help to reduce the stress and the cortisol levels, but they'll also help strengthen the body. And as I discussed earlier, building muscle mass in middle age is extremely important. So perhaps considering things like yoga and Pilates would be a good idea. Maybe I'll take up Tai Chi. Minding your diet is also extremely important. We're just simply not burning calories the way we did in our youth. So obviously, cutting back a little bit on the calorie intake is probably going to be beneficial. But over and above that, there are some simple things that may help regarding diet. Now, the topic of diet is highly controversial, so I'm not going to delve into the specifics of what type of diet you should be eating. I'm simply going to offer some general suggestions that may help no matter what type of diet you are eating. Because hormone changes affect insulin, and insulin is a big player in weight gain and fat storage, it seems logical that trying to limit blood sugar spikes would prove beneficial. So perhaps limiting carbs and sugars and increasing the veggies and the healthy proteins may be a good idea. Also, because the metabolism is lower in midlife and we just simply are not burning the same amount of calories, timing your meals and snacks to avoid overeating may be helpful, or limiting your eating window. This is what I do. Only allow yourself a certain amount of hours in the day when you're able to consume food. By this, I mean start to eat at 7 or 8 a.m. and stop completely by 7 to 8 p.m. That may help restrict your calories without suffering too badly. In addition to restricting your calories, doing what you can to burn more calories is also important. So any type of cardio exercise is beneficial. Now, I'm not suggesting you run on the treadmill for an hour every day. Start slow. As I mentioned earlier, take 10-minute brisk walks when you take the dog out, if that's all that you can do. And increase the intensity and the length as you become more fit. It will help increase your metabolism, burn those calories, and as an added bonus, it will make your heart healthy. This one's not as obvious, but equally as important. Make sleep a priority. Disturbances in sleep affect the hormones that regulate hunger and appetite. They increase the hunger hormone, and they decrease leptin, the stop eating hormone. They also affect cortisol, and I've already discussed the chaos that high cortisol causes. It is responsible for fat storage and especially fat storage in the belly. Now, achieving a restful sleep in the midst of perimenopause or menopause can be a real task. Believe me, ladies, I know. Just do your best. Even small increases in the amount of sleep that you're getting can only prove beneficial. It seems, although middle age brings with it some challenges, which unfortunately do cause us to become a little thick in the middle, or maybe for some of you, all over, and it is more and more difficult to maintain our weight as we age, there are some things that we can do to try to lose those 10 or 15 extra pounds and fight that belly fat. I'm telling you, I would love to fit in to some of my jeans again. Middle age seems to be, at least for me, a critical time to focus on health and treating the body with as much love and care as possible. Because believe me, ladies, my body cannot take the abuse that I used to put it through when I was younger. That's for sure. I hope this video brought you some value. If it did, and you think you may be interested in watching more of my videos, consider subscribing and click that bell so that you will be notified when I release new content. And remember, live your best midlife, everyone, and I will see you in my next video. Bye for now.